One eternity later.
Whew boy, this is a long overdue video. For almost 2 years now, I've come up with ideas for videos, saved footage, scrapped it, and then started the process all over again a couple weeks later. So I've decided to just make one so I can stop thinking about the fact that I should be making one. And in the last year and a half, I have played all the way through more games than probably ever before. From Christmas season 2019, a few months before we entered the Upside Down, until now May 2021, I have started and finished 56 games. And that's not including the large amount of WoW Shadowlands I played on release, a lot of Diablo 3, or any random games of Overwatch. Today I will list and give an ideally brief review of every one of those games. And a special shout out to Jedi Fallen Order and Borderlands 3, both of which were great games, and I did play a ton of Borderlands 3, but those came out in the fall of 2019, so they did not make the list. And I also need to give a shout out to Yakuza 0. I had tried getting into that game several times in previous years, and was finally able to in winter 2019. The combat was fun once you get the hang of it, and honestly watching the footage makes me want to play it. But when I was about 3/4 of the way through the game, I got my PS4 for Christmas, and that was the last I ever saw of it. So, starting with the PS4 games, the first game I played was Spider-Man. I got the platinum for it before I ever even thought about playing another game. Definitely in my top 10 list of best games ever. Got the platinum in Horizon Zero Dawn. Fun game. I always love using bows in games that do it well. Bloodborne. Got the platinum trophy for that too. It's an amazing game, and I have hundreds of hours between all the Souls games. So I'd always really wanted to play it when I did not have a PlayStation. Days Gone, great game, don't get why people didn't like it. God of War, obviously great game, everybody knows that. I would have the Platinum Trophy if it wasn't for that damned Final Valkyrie. Uncharted, 1, 2, 3, and 4, fun series. And Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Big ol' kick, flip, in the nostalgia. It's just too bad there's no way for the game to have had a blue cartridge. Then in anticipation of The Last of Us Part 2, I played through the first one, after having not been able to get into it really once before. But it was a sweet game, and The Last of Us Part 2, which came out a few weeks later, was pretty incredible. I got the platinum for that one as well. The graphics I thought were great for a baseline PS4. The story was good, and the gameplay was great. I know there was a lot of backlash at the game, but no, honestly, those people are stupid. The game made you very aware that you were killing real people in the game world and not just, anonymous, faceless henchmen. But I never felt like it got too preachy or in the way of anything. It was just kind of presented as the cold reality of what the end of civilization was like. And I too hated the idea of playing as Abby at first, but honestly the story was great overall and it came together perfectly. The only complaint I have about the game actually is that I did not care at all about Dina. I just felt like she was this new character who we were literally just introduced to, and then all of a sudden we were supposed to care about her as much as these other characters that we had already come to love from the other games, so I just never really cared about her, but overall, great game. And finally, for the PlayStation list, Ghost of Tsushima. It's been a while now since I played it, but at the time I definitely felt like it was the game of the year, and I got platinum for it, I'm pretty sure without even trying. The graphics, visuals, landscapes, models, everything was beautiful, and the load times were really fast despite the fact that it had such good graphics, and I'm just using a baseline PS4. So that was pretty impressive. The story was really good, and I thought the collection stuff was handled really well. It wasn't like your generic Ubisoft open world, and they managed to keep it fresh with things like the wind mechanic or following the yellow birds to find the treasures. Even writing haikus was at least somewhat interesting. If not, it looked really nice. I really loved the cinematic duels that were scattered around the world. There was a ton of stuff to do, and the combat was really interesting. I found the stance switching was better than most games that have tried to use that mechanic, and I did find that it really helped the flow of combat. The attention to detail was impeccable, from the splatter of blood, the way you clean the blood off your blade before sheathing it, and even little details like the soldier tripping over the dead pig. You really don't tend to see that level of detail often in games that aren't Red Dead Redemption 2. And so that is it for part 1. Next video I will start on the PC games, which I will mostly go through a lot quicker because there are a lot. The last year and a half is the closest I have ever come to finishing my backlog of games on Steam, though Mass Effect Legendary was just released and I'm playing through them for the first time. Then Biomutant comes out very soon, and then all summer long more games are coming out, so I really need to get these videos finished because I have a lot more games to be playing. So until next time, thank you for watching.